Hello everybody. Today is a really quick video about this card called Unstoppable. Now, despite the name, it's widely considered a really bad card, and so that's why I want to challenge myself to actually make a deck with it and see if it was usable at all. So, what I came up with was a Dark Infiltrator deck. Now, the reason you want to run this is it's going to let you spam allies onto the board by making them cost one less. And so Unstoppable needs 3 allies on board to give your weapon just 1 attack extra. And so you really want to play like 3 different allies on the board. So, yeah, this is kind of what I've come up with. I've tried a bunch of different things that I do want to mention. So one cool combination is Caged Savage plus this card called Grom's Axe. Now, this is a really good combination, especially with Dark Infiltrator, because that's going to make your Caged Savages free. Then Grom's Axe can actually damage them for you and put it onto that 3 attack that is necessary for Caged Savage to actually attack. Now, the reason I didn't go with that is I felt like it was draining too much shadow energy to use Grom's Axe, and you really want to be using Dark Claw's ability to actually use Speed Strike and actually boost your attack and also trigger Dark Infiltrator. So for those reasons, I ultimately decided not to go with that, and yeah, so I played a lot of games with this. They have had milds. So yeah, I have been winning, but not with Unstoppable. For the most part, mostly through just playing like the cards. And you can see when I was still testing this deck out, a lot of these games are from the Caged Savage games, and I went on a pretty long losing streak there. So you can kind of see how this deck is not competitive. It's just for fun. I think if you were going to actually play this deck, there are some things about this deck that I think are actually kind of neat. For example, False Blood Cultist plus Brimstone Devourer is really, really nice. But even if you don't draw into that, False Blood Cultist can actually discard your extra copies of Speed Strike, Dark Infiltrator, and your weapons. So it actually makes Dark Claw a lot more consistent. I'm really liking False Blood Cultist in Dark Claw. Um, and Phaedon Barbarian is another card that I think works really well in Dark Claw because it actually lets you deal with the board but still be readying Phaedon Barbarian and attacking. Phaedon Barbarian happens to work really well with Dark Infiltrator, which gives it ambush. So Phaedon Barbarian can now get ambush, which is really, really good in certain situations. So yeah, that's basically um, I don't even I actually used to run Wolf and Prophet, but I dropped that too. So really, you have to hard draw Unstoppable, and you only run one of them. So that's a large part of the reason why most of my games have not really used it. And you could probably just drop it if you were gonna actually want to play a competitive Dark Claw. But without further ado, I did have one game where I did manage to pull it off with Unstoppable. So here's the replay, and yeah, I have actually used Unstoppable before in some of my previous builds, but I ended up not going with it. So this is the one game with Unstoppable with my most recent build. So as you can see here, I actually say, for all Woven Heroes, basically, you don't have a 2-cost ally. So your best turn 2, I like to say, is Blood Moon. It's a great card to play. It gives you 3 draws, and early game, it's an excellent card to play. And Dark Claw is kind of like that. You play your turn 2 Blood Moon, turn 3 Speed Strike. That's kind of what you want to do, and then deal with the board later. So now that we're all set up, this is where we can actually play Jeweler's Dream. Now, Jeweler's Dream is a great in combination with Speed Strike. As you can see, I'm attacking twice. That lets me renew 4 resources, use Now Your Mind, and also attach Unstoppable. So now we got Unstoppable out on turn 3 for free, basically. And we were able to deal with his board with Now Your Mind, which is great. Okay, now we draw into Dark Infiltrator. This is where Dark Infiltrator can actually get really good. So right now, all my allies are reduced by 1 cost. So that lets me play both Woven Tinkerers, attack twice with the Jeweler's Dream, and play the Brimstone Devourer. This is basically the Dream Hand, and as you can see now, the Unstoppable is giving this card +1 attack. If Yeah, so you can see there, the Unstoppable actually gives it a +1 attack, which is why it is currently on 4 attack. So it's not going to last because he is going to Zaladar away both Tinkerers, but that's okay because we get a draw at least. Now, Tinker was actually nerfed recently. It's been kind of devastating to a lot of the Dark Claw builds. I've been really missing Tinker being able to draw when you don't have a weapon out. So yeah, you do suffer a little bit from that sometimes. But in that situation, we were lucky enough that we had the weapon out and he killed the Tinker, so we were able to draw. So yeah, here this is a situation where our opponent is just overwhelmed basically by all the allies and stuff that we're playing. I go for the Tinker here just so I can, well, trigger Unstoppable, but also I wanted to make sure my Jeweler's Dream didn't break. So that's why I went and played the Tinker first instead of playing the False Blood Cultist first. I might have been able to consider maybe using the hero power there, but I wanted to save it. And that could have been a little bit stronger. But as you can kind of see here, the Unstoppable is actually making me deal a lot more damage than I should be doing. And here I'm doing another 8 damage. And the last turn I also did 8 damage, which lets me just close out this game before Zaladar can get his second ability off and maybe recover. So yeah, that's basically how Unstoppable is sometimes yeah, a usable card. Yeah, so now you can no longer claim that it's completely useless. I would still say 99% of the time it is probably a useless card. But there you go. That is how you can make Unstoppable actually playable. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's more of a fun one. So yeah, thanks for watching.